The thing that I like best about living at Meadow are there are really two things. First of all, the people that I have met here, because they're very friendly. It's been very easy to become acquainted. And then also the activities that are provided, because that was what I was looking for, meeting other people and having things to do.
Well, I recall that conversation we had. We'd been to a book club or something, and someone just commented, last week we put Mother and Dad somewhere.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when we were going home, I said, you know what? I don't want our kids putting us anywhere. But I think the conversation we had, we went to a forum in Sarasota where we would go in the winter. And friends of ours had lived in this particular place on the bay, Sarasota Bay Club. And we visited them and thought, that's really nice. And then we looked at Mary Lee and said, no, we're not ready, But whenever we started thinking about it, neither of us had long-term health care, which of course is not as great as we think it is even now, people who do have it. So we started just thinking about the cost if both of us had to be in assisted living or a nursing home. And totaling that up, we thought, gee whiz, how long does an investment portfolio last under that kind of fire,
Sure.
So when this life care plan, and I keep pushing it because it's a wonderful thing, that the circumstances, financial circumstances of which you can move from layer to layer. And you realize, I can do that without breaking the bank. And so that was the reason we really started seriously looking. And for whatever reason, I don't know how we got on your call list, but they called us and invited us. And that was the beginning of it. We started going to events that they were having.
Well, I have several friends, and it's such a good example. If you think you're not ready, by the time you think you are ready, you are over ready.
That's a
And
very
I
good.
fully believe that living at Miralee, and I know my friends feel the same, has added years to our life. You don't have the stress, you don't have the aggravation. I wish I could get through to people. They don't want to leave their homes. It's just material things. Mm-hmm. This is worth so much more to have friends around you all the time. Or even not great friends, even acquaintances that you can speak mm-hmm. with, and there's always somebody around. Please don't wait till you think you're ready. Do it before. Well, you don't need half the things that you bring, and half the things that I brought I have not used in 8 years. And it's true, the kids don't want silver and they don't want china, but so what? I'm still trying to downsize and give away. So you just don't need it, no matter how small or how large your mm-hmm. unit is. Just, you won't use it, that's all. Mm-hmm.
Very close. We get as close to the staff as we do the residents. It's you get them on a personal basis, and they share with you. And a lot like we were talking about the food earlier. I like my eggs a certain way, and I can call down to the restaurant now to place my order. And I don't have to tell them how to fix my eggs.
They know your way.
And it's very close relationship with the staff, not just the staff, but the development office and the whole operation here at the Masonic Home. It's a personal, it gets to be a personal relationship.
We're very close. Tammy is a friend that I would never, ever, ever have had, and that goes back 10 years. The staff feels like family, and we know when they're sick, and we know when they lose people, and even the housekeeping staff, when you get used to your same housekeeper, you talk to them. You have to remember they're human beings. They're not your servants, and when you treat them the way you would a true friend, that's what you get back, and we're very close to our staff.
I read that you almost feel they're part of your family
Yeah.
for many of them. And they're always so cheerful, which, you know, we have our good days and our bad days, but that means a lot. It really does. I can't say enough good things about the staff, really.
We have a restaurant. A lot of facilities have dining rooms, and when you go down, you have like two choices for an entree, you know, and you don't really have a lot of choice. That's the dining room facility. We have a restaurant. We have a menu that looks just like a restaurant menu, and so it's considerably different, and we like that. We like being able to have multiple choices of what you want. As far as it's difficult, we are in the process of doing a survey of our residents here at Meadow about what they would like to see changed about the menu, or changed about the presentation, or whatever, any of that. And so we're not necessarily in control, but we have an input to it.
That's great.
And our director is constantly working with the staff in the cooking area to try to get to the point. We work on consistency, that when you order this item this week and it's great, that next week you can order it and it's going to be great instead of not so great. So it is, I think, this is my opinion, that it's the most personal service that we have is food.
Absolutely, I would agree.
It's and it's all as a result, because we feel so personal about, you know, are we a good cook? Yeah, we're really good cooks. They can't beat my mother's, you know, this sort of thing. So you have to keep a proper perspective about the food, and know that everyone doesn't have the same likes and dislikes, and it's a tough thing to operate the restaurant, any restaurant. How many restaurants do you go to that everything on it you want to eat? No.
Right.
You know, there are just certain things that you want. So they constantly work on improving, and I think that's a plus, a big plus. And they listen to you if you have a concern. If you get something and it's not to your liking, they just say, "Oh, I'll take this off of your bill. Would you like to order something else?"
I don't have to shop for it, I don't have to prepare it, and I don't have to clean up after it. And for the most part, I'm very satisfied, and days that I'm not, I tell myself those 3 sentences.
That is a great perspective.
It is a great relief not to have to think about, what am I going to fix for dinner? I'm going to go down, I'm going to look at a menu, and I'm going to choose something from that, you know. I like that, I really do.
I've gotten to the point where I don't mind it. I do a lot of my cooking. What I do eat is very good, and if I order something, they will say, "You can't have that, Miss Sockham, because it's made with this or it's made with that." I think they try hard, and our chefs will not work on the same meal every time. So in other words, you have however many chefs are in the kitchen doing their own interpretation of that food. So it might not taste the same, but it's the same food. So people have to realize that. And it's like going to a restaurant. If you don't like something, you won't order it again, or you'll talk to them about it. They're very willing. What I like is my apartment is very small, and when I have my family, of course not because of the virus now, we can't, but they do a lot of wonderful catering, and I can order what I want partly, and I can do some of it myself, or they can do the whole catering, and we have private rooms, and I don't have to worry whether they're well fed or not. So it's adequate. It's, as Martha said, every individual has a different sense of what they're getting. And if you don't like one thing, you'll love the next thing. So you have to realize it's just a restaurant that you have all the time instead of occasionally.